Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Friday, December 5th, about 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to with tonight's Revere Roundup daily market insight video. Market state, we are in an uptrend. And if you look at the trend gauge right here, we have the four coveted green arrows. And if this is your first time watching this video, what this exactly means is market leaders in-house, we judge them if they're trending well, acting good, and green arrow means it's risk on mode. And then short term, this is the S&P trending above the 21 EMA, 50-day moving average, and 200-day moving average. And we're seeing all that, all bullish alignment currently right now. What happened today? Pretty quiet day. Market waits on the FOMC decision next week. That's really the next big catalyst for the market, and that's going to be important to watch what the reaction is. We got the PCE numbers today, and basically the main takeaway is that it's still, still sticky inflation above the Fed's 2% inflation target, and that's not going to prevent the Fed from cutting rates next week, as the odds are, at like 87.5%, but it could factor in a hawkish cut, which implies that the Fed would wait longer for the next rate cut. So that's something to watch. Pretty much the market is pricing in the rate cut. It's very, 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 very high probability that happens. And then what you need to watch for is how the market perceives it, and is it hawkish or dovish? And we'll talk about all that next week when it happens live. All right, final numbers: 21 over 21 list up 1.05%, 15 green, 1 neutral, 5 red. Turbo 12 up 0.32%, 8 green, 4 red. Big 8 and RG8 roughly flat on the day. S&P up about 19 basis points. RSP up 0.23. Tech up 0.41%, Equate up 0.56%, Dow Jones up 0.2, mid caps flat, Russ 2000 up, down 42 basis points, 60/40 stock and bond flat. Flagship portfolio GROTECTION up 0.3, TurboTection up 0.49%. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation. Chart S&P 500, not much to comment. This has been a big move off the lows. Kind of, 68, 68.50 was kind of this like little consolidation breakout that we poked ahead above on Thursday and held above it today, but pretty, just kind of a range day today. As you can see, little push, came back in and just kind of chopping around. That's not the worst thing in the world. And again, like I said, market might be just consolidating before the FOMC to make a decision on where it wants to go. 69.20 is the all-time high. That's potentially the next step. And if the market does pull back, again, it could pull back and build a higher low, which would be constructive as well. RSP looking to break out of a huge base. Good to see this participating, but again, no like huge fall through. Again, big move up off the lows, 182 up to, in the 190s. Tax summers, S&P 500. Strong after, holding this low and now just kind of wedging a little bit. Mag 7 as well, just tight, getting tight. Dow Jones Industrial Average, same thing. Obviously see if they can take out these highs, or if we do pull back, want it to be constructive to build another higher low off here, but also cognizant of this could be a lower high. So just, seeing two scenarios that could play out. Mid caps continue to display RS. Good to see for breadth. Russ 2000 pausing at these highs, perhaps puts in a handle here. ARC rallying back into the 50-day moving average. FFTY trying to form a little base here at the 21 EMA. FIX continues to move lower, below 16 is good for our style. The dollar, looking like it might roll over, but again, just kind of big base in a downtrend. Gold pulling back a little bit today, but again, it's a really nice company. VCP here, first contraction, second contraction, this third contraction's tight, so potentially on watch for a breakout. GDX as well, maybe forming a handle here. Silver super strong at the highs, up again today. Bitcoin, crypto is really weak. I saw another article, there were some more liquidations, but again, I've mentioned this. I said you could get an oversold rally, right? that was more likely. It was pretty oversold. But again, you know, a couple weeks ago, I said this is showing all the characteristics of a stage three top, and I'll just reiterate them. Failed breakout, failed breakout, failed breakout, weak rally into a declining 50-day moving average and rejecting, breaking the 200-day moving average. And now you have the 50-day moving average looking to cross below the 200-day moving average. And from a long-term perspective, that is like long-term trend is like down. That is not good. And again, rallied back into the 21 EMA and now rolling over. And then this 10 week is crossing below the 40 week. So again, just not signs, and we're not bottom fishing Bitcoin here. We'll let it play out. We're not here trying to catch the low. We're trying to catch the bulk of the move, which we've done with this asset. We traded it multiple times. This breakout was really nice. And then, involved around here, but again, ended up stopping out, and it's been much lower since. So, see, it'd be interesting to watch how this forms in the coming weeks. Bonds, just below the moving averages. TLT, no trend either. Rates ticking back up as well. All right, let's get into the tell the tape. Percent stocks with a 5-day moving average, 58 and 64, just kind of middle ground, not overbought, not oversold. VIX like to see this sub 16. Again, notable that sentiment indicators, bulls are ticking back up, NAM's pretty high. That's something to monitor. Again, a contrarian indicator when the NAM is, 98, 100. It could be a little bit harder. A lot of people are long news wise. I talked about PC, which we got. And again, next week, Wednesday, December 10th, FOMC. That's going to be very important. Today's keys, S&P Qs and the Russell all held above the 21 EMA, but still all below the all-time highs. Going to be watching the same stuff going into Monday. Sectors wise, natural gas was strong. Jets, this is airlines ETF, really strong today. IGV software had a decent day. Semiconductors, and then AIQ, this is an AI ETF. And then weakness, Bitcoin, uranium, utilities, and healthcare. Healthcare was outperforming for quite some time. And then as money started flowing into tech a little bit, it's kind of taken a bit of a breather. But names like Lilly pulling back very orderly. GROTECTION today sold GH and Credo 1.52 RVAB. Estimated balance at risk minus 6.46%. TurboTaxion took an offensive sell in Coherent and Gold, and then um, rotated some of those gold cells into Nugget, which is a little bit faster, and then added on to Lemonade. 1.51 RVAB, estimated balance at risk minus 6.8%. Bottom line, quiet day as the market waits on FOMC decision next week. All right. We'll do GROTECTION. Sold GH, just breaking the 8 EMA, and then also sold Credo. So this gapped up on earnings. Again, great numbers. And it was a really good earnings report. I mean, like, look at these numbers. They're fantastic. But again, it rejected, it didn't fall through, and it's coming back in. We don't talk about this too much, but sometimes things trigger the double top short setup, which means, you have a sharp pullback, a very sharp V shape up, and then go back below that left side peak. And again, this could just handle out. But for now, rejecting negative reversal on earnings. And again, perhaps this has made a huge run. This was a single digit stock. Now was over 200. But again, phenomenal numbers and an AI leader. So just watch it moving forward. And then turbo detection took a trim on Coherent today. Really strong move. And just paint ourselves. Sold 1/3 of this, but it's acting really well and a leader. And then also trimmed some gold and then added that into Nugget, which is just gold miners, which pulled back a little bit today. And then also added on to Lemonade, taking out this high volume close. One of the best looking charts right now. Earnings catalyst right here. Build a higher low off the 21 EMA and now looking to break out. And let's take a look 21 over 21 list. Love Southwest Airlines talked about jet strength today. We'll take a look at the jets, right? Break down this cup base and LUV leading the charge today. Really nice move. Don't see airlines put in these expansion candles that too often, so strong action there. Reddit, really nice move, breaking out of this kind of low flat base look here, has been acting really well. ALB, strong bounce off the 21 EMA after Thursday's shake. Micron, memory names came back today, and this one's coming against the downtrend line here. Nice day today, up almost 5%. Sienna owned this in TurboTax, getting super tight earnings in 6 days, but again, looking to potentially break out into new highs. Strong action on this one. Coherent covered this. ISRG, another one, robotics and healthcare, has a really nice setup here. See if this can break out. Google flagging at the highs, looking really good. Light continuing higher, a little bit choppy, but again, super nice trend. Teradyne, awesome action. Own this in TurboTax, looking to add. I talked about this on the podcast, but this is just a enormous monthly base. The catalyst was an earnings gap up, pulled back, found support at the 50-day moving average, and then continuing higher, like how that one's acting. Wayfair is going to get cut next week. CLS, just in a base, although it's very choppy. Not much progress there. Caterpillar, very clean move through this downtrend line break and trending higher nicely. EXC just reversing at the pivot at these left side highs, potentially flags out for solar. Super choppy name, but potentially just forming a base here. Las Vegas Sands pulling back to the 21 EMA. Lilly, super orderly pullback. And one thing we talked about in-house today is ant signal. Sometimes ants can signal top when a stock's super extended and it starts to go parabolic, but that's not the case with Lilly here. This broke out of like a, let's see, this was, yeah, 63-week base, which is like a very, very long base. Uh, broke out, had just tons of volume, a lot of buyers. Now this is the first pullback, pulling back into 21 EMA, perhaps maybe even if it came back to retest the pace, that'd be constructive. Great growth, just a institutional favorite. Uh, Trades very liquid, has the end, so this is one to watch on a pullback entry. GDX covered that. Rocket pulling back, forming the handle a bit here on the space. CRS pulling back a little bit, and then GH into the 21 EMA. Let's take a look at Turbo 12. Frog having a day, another earnings continuation setup, breaking the downtrend line, having a strong day. Unity got a really nice upgrade today that gapped it up, rejecting these highs. Perhaps this handles out. Lemonade looking to merge through the high volume close. Com pulling back after a strong breakout in the fiber optics group. Very strong, nice numbers. LQDA, we own this in Turbo as well. Medical name just continues higher after this breakout. Good action. SQM potentially starting to form another base. GSAT, really nice follow through from this breakout. LABU, biotech continues to be strong. TSEM forming a little high flag here. SYM going to get booted. Growl bounced off the 21 EMA, and then Guardian Health pulling right back into the 21 EMA. And let's take a look at the big eight because there's some weakness here. Meta, 50 days looking to cross below the 200 day, and potentially stage three top. Google, the leader. Microsoft, again, ugly chart. Potentially looks like a top, major relative weakness. Amazon just hasn't done a whole lot. Tesla, another leader, is owned in both portfolios as well, acting well. Nvidia potentially, you got a downtrend line break here, potentially wedge pop up. Apple been holding up really strong, building higher lows, and then Netflix getting the death cross as well. 50-day is getting below the 200-day moving average, and this was down on they acquired Warner Bros. I believe today, but again, nevertheless, just kind of a rounding top and a relative weakness in the big cap group. But all in all, some decent action in the market. Strong move up off the lows for the S&P 500, broadening participation with strength in small caps and various other sectors. Like airlines is a perfect example. And then action and leadership, definitely mixed, some nice moves. Some names making really nice progress, some meandering, not showing a whole lot of feedback. So again, just keeping our finger on the pulse, watering the flowers, cutting the weeds, and listening to the action in the markets. And like I said, going to be prepared for the FOMC day on Wednesday. Just having different scenarios on what the market could do. So That is going to wrap it. As always, I'd like to hear from you. My email is connor@veras.com. You can reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. Phone is 855 Real Wealth, 855-732-5932. If you guys enjoyed the video, give it a like, subscribe, comment. If you're interested in becoming a client, reach out. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend and see you guys next week.